How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, I ain't did a story in a while on Sarah Huckabee. Crooked face Sarah Huckabee. I mean, they got some pictures up here that is a doozy. On Halloween, during Halloween, she don't need a costume at all. She was born with one. And the way she look is really what her core is within. So you know that Sarah Huckabee don't like to be questioned by anybody. She capes for Trump to the hardest and to the fullest. One thing that I do like is she's really showing really the core of the enemy's nature. And I'm gonna play. I got 2 videos to play, and it's something that I'm gonna really enlighten the royal family with that many might already know, but we're gonna discuss it.
Last question, Hallie, go ahead.
So throughout the course of this briefing, you have repeatedly defended the president's attacks on his political opponents as valid because the midterms are coming up. So at what point does the White House...
Not because of the midterms. I've defended the president. I've defended the president fighting back when he's regularly attacked. There's a difference. It doesn't matter if there's a midterm or not. The president's going to defend himself and he's going to fight back.
From a political perspective, right? You're making that point.
From any perspective.
But at what point does a national tragedy take precedence over the president needing to punch back? If not now, when?
I think you saw the president do exactly that in the wake of a national tragedy, not just this week, but every time the country has experienced the type of heartache and pain that we have over the last week. This is a president who's risen to that occasion and worked to bring our country together in a number of occasions, whether it's the hurricanes, whether it's the Las Vegas shooting, whether it was the Pittsburgh shooting, all horrible, horrible tragedies that this country has experienced. And this president has come out, condemned the attacks when it is caused by an individual, and tried to look for ways to provide and bring the country together when it was a natural disaster.
He and you have also acknowledged that in the next breath, after he calls for unity, he does talk about division in what you describe as drawing contrast. Is he incapable of, in the words of some, toning it down and toning down the rhetoric?
Again, I think the president has had a number of moments of bringing the country together. Once again, I'll remind you that the very first thing the president did was condemn the attacker, and the very first thing the media did was blame the president. You guys have a huge responsibility to play in the divisive nature of this country when 90% of the coverage of everything this president does is negative, despite the fact that the country is doing extremely well, despite the fact that the president is delivering on exactly what he said he was going to do if elected. And he got elected by an overwhelming majority of 63 million Americans who came out and supported him and wanted to see his policies enacted. He's delivered on that. He's delivered on the promises he's made, and if anything, I think it is sad and divisive the way that every single thing that comes out of the media, 90% of what comes out of the media's mouth is negative about this president. Despite the fact that the economy is booming, despite the fact he said he would fix the trade deals, and he's done exactly that. He said he would defeat ISIS, and he has. The president has been delivering day in, day out, and I think it would be nice if every once in a while we could focus on a few of the positive things the president has done instead of just attacking him. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.
Ooh, she got pissed. Ooh, her ass got pissed. She do not like to be questioned about her daddy. Now, we know that. Oh, yes. Boy, you know how she deal with, like, April Ryan. She be like, really, bitch? Really? Don't you ask me shit. Don't ask me shit. So, you know, for the last few days, people have been questioning Trump's lack of empathy when tragic things happen in America amongst his own. So the next video I'm going to show the royal family. This is about a 6-minute video, and they're going to talk to Ronald Reagan's daughter. And I'm just holding back because I got something. I'm gonna close this out so sweet. So let's get into this video.
Pittsburgh tomorrow in the wake of the deadly synagogue shooting there. The White House is defending the president's actions in times of crisis.
At what point does a national tragedy take precedence over the president needing to punch back? If not now, when?
I think you saw the president do exactly that in the wake of a national tragedy, not just this week. Every time our country has experienced the type of heartache and pain that we have over the last week, this is a president who's risen to that occasion and worked to bring our country together in a number of occasions, whether it's the hurricanes, whether it's the Las Vegas shooting, whether it was the Pittsburgh shooting.
Our next guest disagrees. Out front tonight, the daughter of President Ronald Reagan, Patty Davis. She has a new op-ed in the Washington Post where she writes about President Trump, quote, "This president will never offer comfort, compassion, or empathy to a grieving nation. It's not in him. When questioned after a tragedy, he will always be glib and inappropriate. So I have a wild suggestion. Let's stop asking him. His words are only salt in our wounds." Patty Davis joins me now. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, people familiar with you know that you're not a supporter of President Trump. You're a progressive, but you don't think he's done what Sarah Sanders says. You don't think he's risen to that occasion ever in times of national tragedy?
Unless I missed a news day, I've never seen or heard him. And, you know, it occurred to me when I watched him being questioned right, you know, when the news of the shooting in Pittsburgh had come out, and he was walking to Marine One, and he was being questioned by the journalists. I don't think there was any journalist there who didn't have some idea of what he was going to say, essentially what he was going to say, that he wasn't going to reach out to the broken hearts across this country and offer solace and compassion, because he never has before. And I thought, why are you even asking him? You know, there's no law that says that reporters have to question the president while he's walking to the helicopter or to the plane. What if you just don't ask him at times like this and don't give him that opportunity to literally rub salt in our wounds?
Obviously, every time, well, not obviously, but every time I think of your dad, I think about his address to the nation following the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. Here's part of what I think about every time I think about your dad.
Yeah.
Nancy and I are pained to the core by the tragedy of the Shuttle Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss. I wish I could talk to every man and woman who works for NASA or who worked on this mission and tell them your dedication and professionalism have moved and impressed us for decades, and we know of your anguish. We share it.
So, Patty, with all due respect, that is a really high bar. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but you're, I mean, that's the gold standard of comforting a nation. Is it possible you just expect too much?
No, I don't think I do. I'm not asking him to, well, I'm not asking Trump to do anything, but I'm not expecting anybody to reach the level of my father's eloquence, because it was eloquence. Can you just reach out from your heart? And I don't think that this president can. So again, I get back to, why are we asking him to? If you in your personal life had a tragedy or a loss or were in grief, you wouldn't reach out to someone who you knew was not going to comfort you or show you solace. That would be a ridiculous thing to do. So why do we expect him to?
I don't know if you saw, but George Conway, a noted conservative attorney in Washington, D.C., who happens to have a wife.
Kellyanne Conway's husband?
That is true. That is also true. He retweeted part of your column, the part about how he will never offer, the president will never offer comfort, compassion, or empathy to a grieving nation.
Wow.
It's not in him. And then he responded to somebody on Twitter. Somebody else said the president lacks the communication skills. And he responded, George Conway, by saying, it's far beyond that. It's that there's nothing from within to communicate.
Well, I think, first of all, wouldn't you love to be on a fly on the wall in that dining room tonight in that home? I wouldn't,
Probably
but
some
anyway.
interesting conversations. I think that's true.
Yeah, probably. I didn't
But
know
do
that
you
he
think
had,
that's the problem? I mean, George Conway is
Well-
basically saying he doesn't have it in him to communicate. It's not just a communications problem.
Well, I kind of said the same thing. And look, I don't know what's inside of anybody, except I do know what people show on the outside. At some point, we do show what is inside of us. And Donald Trump has never shown compassion ever. He didn't just burst on the scene. He's been in the public eye for over 40 years. Can you name any instance where he has shown kindness and compassion? He never had a reputation for that.
Well, I'm not the press secretary of the White House, but I'm sure if Sarah were here, she would say, you don't see what he's like with people on our staff, and we're all devoted to him, and you don't see how great he is to soldiers when he meets them. I mean, I'm sure she would be able to relay a number of moments that she has seen.
Well, of course, because that's what she does, but I don't know what to say about Sarah Sanders. I don't know what movie she's watching, because the rest of us are watching a different movie.
Patty Davis, so nice to meet you via satellite. Thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right, my radio family. So as I close this out, wow, she's just as delusional too as well, because Ronald Reagan was quite racist, and he sure, when he was governor here in California, he sure did a number on California. And really what's going on, my royal family, see, these white folks, they have their own internal wars too. And what is going on is they're asking Trump and people who fully support Trump, well, y'all have to continue to pretend like you have compassion. You have to pretend like you care about black people and other people in America. So why you can't pretend anymore? Because this is what this is all about. You know, what we are looking at is going on is they are systematically, daily, my royal family, going off code. And I've been thinking for years, I said, how long can they keep this up? And I'm looking again at the precision, of the 6,000 years being over completely. And at the precision of it, how the divine hand is working within all our communities, all are ours. We're looking at the precision of how this white woman gets down, and she's showing the core of America. We also are showing the precision of how Trump and his followers truly feel. And so that other side, they just as rotten. They want to keep up the charade and pretend. Let's stop pretending anymore. I like that Trump is being true to his nature. What is wrong with that? At least we know where we stand with the enemy. But there's going to always be some people and their supporters, because we got many like our own that want to play the pretend game. And I know y'all asses came over here because you didn't like that video that I put up about the young black conservators who met with Trump last week and made themselves look a fool. Y'all wasting y'all time over here on the True Royal Family. I don't waver at all. You wasting your time. If you are a black conservator and a coon mixed in with that, you wasting your time over here. I delete your comments, because we're not going to pretend what's going on in America. We're not going to pretend that as I speak, we are being subjugated, we are being killed, we are being despised. Something negative is always happening to the royal family. So let's stop the fucking pretend game. Let's speak core about what's going on in America. Let's speak about what's really, really going on. I ain't gonna do no surface talking over here. You know, I don't even like the way it look, but I can't pretend. So that's their great divide amongst them. that we're going to play the pretend game like we have love and compassion. Look at their own history amongst themselves. All they do is kill themselves. Anywhere that they go, they bring, and it doesn't matter the order, death, destruction, deceit, disease. And I think it was Cap that said that they bring the disease. I don't remember Cap, but you'll let us know. So that's what this is all about. So she's sitting up here with her crooked ass face too as well, looking hard. And you want to say that your father was eloquent? He was racist to the core. Racist. He didn't give a damn about us. And I continue to pray that the ones that are asleep have to realize, I pray that they wake up and realize they don't care about us. And we don't care that you don't care about us. We don't want your validation. We don't want your approval. We come from royal stock. We don't mingle with peasants at all. So the ones that want to reduce themselves and mingle with peasants, you're going to feel the full brunt of white supremacy. So don't come back over here running to us talking about playing that pretend game. Like, oh, wow, what you were saying was true. You been knew it was true. You dismiss it. You dismiss it. I don't give a damn who I piss off because I'm going to keep it core. Fuck pretending. Let's get real with this shit. So that's all that Huckabee is showing. She's showing her core. She's irritated to be questioned, you know, even by they own. Off cold. Ain't it sweet to watch the enemy systematically break down, my royal family? Boy, 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 these are some amazing times that we are living in. The divine hand is real. Oh, so real. We on this last stretch, my royal family. Stay focused. Serious A, serious B. Study it. So anyway, my royal family, rendered your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.